All right, so today I'm gonna teach you how to use the bow staff and how to do a few basic spins. I've been doing this practice for a few years now because we've got these sticks or dowels just laying around here at TMC. We normally use them for a bunch of mobility exercises. And one day I just picked it up and I started moving with it and it just felt really good, starting to develop my coordination and this connection with an object. So this object manipulation, it's a part of our movement practice, juggling a soccer ball, juggling balls, fire spinning, all these different things fall into that category. So this is just one element of that. So I just want to teach you a couple of spins now to get you started with the practice. The first one we're going to look at is a forward spin. Also too, I'm just going to show you with my right arm today, but what I suggest is you practice both arms, learn it with your dominant arm first, and then try to transfer that to the other side. So with the right arm, holding it right in the center. Also another helpful tip as well to have each end marked, because I'm going to be referencing the colors to help you learn the movements. The first one, we're going to drive it from the right hand side, holding it in the center. We're going to drive it down to the left and then opening to the right. Down to the left, open to the right. Just like this, nice and slow and controlled. For these particular movements, we want to make sure that the stick is quite vertical. You can see that I'm not taking the stick out like this. You want to keep it nice and vertical down that center line of the body. You can see that my shoulder's moving, my elbow, my wrist, and my hands, everything's working together to create this nice fluid motion. You want to go slow first. So we're going to take it down, black end goes down to the left-hand side of my body. I start to turn, bend the elbow, rotate the wrist. As I get to here, I open my hand. So it's just holding the stick with the index and the thumb to allow the back end, the wide end of the stick, to roll around, and then you grip it again, taking it back through that same pattern. So down, let it roll around, hold it again. Down, roll around, hold. You can see that each end, the first end or the front end, which is the thumb end, so that's the black end here, and the bottom end of the stick, which is the pinky end, the white end, is moving in a circular motion. And that's what's going to make it really smooth. You'll find that when you first start this, that one side will be really smooth. It's normally the front end. So that black end will be moving in a circle, and then the back end will be lagging. What you want to do is make sure that you're turning the wrist over, opening that hand to allow both the front end and the back end of the stick to move in that circular pattern, so you can start to build that fluidity in this pattern. Start slow. So slow is smooth, smooth is fast. This really applies with the bow staff. So we're going here, just practice this. If you do have a stick right now, you can practice along with me, or maybe get one and watch this video again. And I'll do this as a bit of a follow along so you can start to develop these patterns. All right, show you from another angle, just like this. Let's break it down again. So right hand side in the middle, down to the left, open to the right, grab it, and again, just moving that shoulder. Everything's moving together. So you're creating this fluidity through your body, softening the knees and also the hips as well. There's a slight rotation in my spine. You can see that I'm moving side to side, allowing that stick to move from the left to the right, just like that. So that's the forward spin. We're also going to do the forward spin to the right hand side as well. This is going to lead into the endless spin, this one here, which we'll get onto in a second. So it's the same exact spin, but instead of doing it to the front, we're actually going to do it to the right hand side. So holding it the same, it goes in front of the body and then open behind the body. In front, behind, in front, behind. Slow. It might even be this slow when you first start. And also you're going to whack yourself a bunch of times. This is all part of the process. You're going to fail, smack yourself in the knees and in the face. That's all good. I hit myself in the funny bone once. That was the worst. I had to stop for the day. So just like this, nice and smooth. So this is the forward spin to the front and also to that right hand side. All right, let's move on to the endless spin. One looks like this. This is probably one of my favorite spins, and there's a bunch of variations that we can go over. We're going to do releases. You can actually get really fast with it as well. All right, so same hand, right hand side. I'm going to, and this is where the colors come into play as well. I'm going to take my stick out to the right hand side. I'm going to drive the top end, which is the thumb end, the black end right now. I'm going to drive that down behind my back It'll go past my legs, past my hips, and then come up all the way to here. You're gonna end up in a position that looks like this. You're gonna feel a bit stuck. From here, you wanna take the other end, the pinky end or the white end, and you're going to bring it around in front of the body, and then the wrist is all twisted up. You just wanna unwind the wrist to here, and then you're gonna complete that forward spin again to the right-hand side. So again, we go down, behind the back, loops around. You want to continue that loop. So as it's going here, you want to turn, unwind, and grab it again. Let's go nice and slow. Again, I'll show you from a few different angles. Grab a stick, because I think just watching this video, you're not going to process it so well. You need to grab a stick and actually practice it. Take the end of your broom off or a mop and just grab a stick and let's go for it if you don't have one. So let's go again, drive down, turn the body, and then unwind, open, and down to here. So behind, keeping this one nice and vertical as well. We don't want to go horizontal. So vertical, I mean straight up and down. You don't want to be moving on any different angles here, and I'll show you from the side as well. It will move slightly on an angle, but you want to try to keep it as vertical as possible. Nice and smooth. All right, so now try to get a nice rotation happening, and this can happen through rotating the body. So as it's moving around, I'm twisting to the left, and then I turn, and then I unwind my body. You can see that my whole body's working together, and I really like this practice because you start to build connection with the staff, but also with your body as well, and you start to learn how to organize your body and how to move in a way that becomes really smooth and fluid. And then the speed will come with that as well. So drive down, turn, rotate, open, down, turn, rotate, down, turn, rotate. Start to get a little bit smooth with it, a little bit faster as the smoothness comes as well. And again, you can get really fast with this one. If you've got any questions with this kind of stuff, put it in the comments. I'm happy to answer any questions. Or if you need extra tutorials as well, happy to help. All right, let's look at some variations. Just keep practicing that one as well, because this didn't take me 5 seconds. I was practicing this for a really long time before I got it that smooth and that fast. So just be patient with yourself. If you need to put it down, come back to it with a fresh mind and fresh eyes. That's always helpful as well. If it is getting frustrating or you feel like you're not progressing with it, just put it down, come back to it the next day. All right, so a variation of the endless spin is low to high. So instead of keeping it down low like this, transitioning in front, pulling it behind the back, what we can do is transition it behind the back, and as we unwind the wrist, normally we'd come back, but what we're gonna do is take it up and then down and around. So it's the same motion with the wrist and the shoulder, but what we're gonna do is take it up and then down. So up, down, up, down. Same motion with the body twisting into it. You're just straightening that arm out, down, here. I'll show you from the back as well. I'll show you the first version too. So endless spin, like this, down, around, and then let's try the high version. So we go up, rotate, down, up, rotate, down. Cool, that's another variation. The next one is a release. This is the last variation I'll teach you. I'm gonna do more videos if you request it. Let's see a comment if you wanna see more tutorials like this one. I love teaching this stuff in classes here at the Movement Collective, so I'd love to teach you as well. Super fun practice. For this one, we're gonna release. We're gonna do the same movement. Endless spin, we're gonna get to this point here. And we're gonna continue the stick. We want the stick to do the same motion, but we're gonna do a release. So we're gonna let go. As the wrist unwinds to here, we're gonna let go. Allow it to do a half spin, grab it, and then keep turning it to that same direction or the same place that it was going. So we pull it behind the back. So we go here, release, grab, turn behind the back. Release, grab. And you really wanna encourage it to turn. So that wrist is in this position. You continue to turn, release, it'll start to spin, you grab it, and then take it back. Once you've got this one down, the half spin, we want to then move to the full rotation. just like this. So we let go, does a full rotation. You want to catch it, and this is where the timing and coordination comes into play that you can develop. You want to catch it in a way, well, not like that. You want to catch it in a way that is continuing the rotation behind the back so it seems seamless. Just like it does when you don't release it, you want to have that same fluidity, taking it behind the back just like this. Again, it's really hard to do this one slow, but I'll try to do it slow. Grab, turn. I could probably use slow-mo, but don't have time for that. Well, again, here, release, rotate, grab, turn behind the back. So just to revisit what we've covered today, we've got our forward spin. We went to the front and also to the right-hand side with our forward spin. We've also got our endless spin, like this. One of my favorites. We've got the low to high endless. And then we've got our release. If you haven't done any of this practice, this is probably enough for you to practice for a little while. Again, this took me weeks and months and many, many hours to start to develop even just the basics of the coordination around it, to start to feel good in my body moving around the stick. It was super clunky and there was many failures along the way, so you just need to accept that, grab a stick, start practicing, and let me know if you need help.